Welcome to the 2020 Virtual Candidate Forum. Our desire is to create informed voters by giving the Plant City community an opportunity to meet every candidate on their ballot.
At the Greater Plant City Chamber of Commerce, we are a connector and convener in the community of current and rising leaders. When we all work together, we are Plant City Strong.
This event would not be possible without community involvement. We would like to thank Tampa Electric, Fried Egg Productions, South Florida Baptist Hospital, the Hillsborough County Farm Bureau, and the many other generous supporters.
Without further ado, let's hear from this candidate.
Hi, my name is Deanna Hurley. My business, Deanna Hurley Photography, is a member of the Plant City Chamber of Commerce, and I have the pleasure to serve on the board of directors. Our Government Affairs Committee has prepared a few questions for every candidate on the ballot running for a position that will represent Plant City. Today, I'm here with Bob Henriquez, who is running for re-election as property appraiser. Will you please give us a quick introduction so our viewers can get to know you?
Well, hi. First of all, thanks for having me here today. It's an interesting time to be virtually like this instead of meeting with you in person. But my name is Bob Henriquez. I'm Hillsborough County property appraiser. I'm finishing my second term in that office, or this office. I was blessed to win re-election in 2016, and I wish to continue the good work that I believe we've been doing in this office for the election in 2020. I received an opponent at the very last minute, and actually I'm pleased about that, because I think it's important for every elected official at the end of their term to go through what I call a job interview to be rehired. And I think that by every measure, when they look at my record and look at the record of the property appraiser's office over my tenure, the office is performing quite well, and I think it's become really a national and international model for property appraisers' offices everywhere.
So why are you running for another term as property appraiser?
Well, first of all, it's an incredibly important and an incredible honor to serve in this position. Particularly now, I think, in view of what's going on with possibly effects of COVID and the economy, I think it's important to have someone that has experience and knows exactly how the process works and what we can do to try to help our businesses get back on their feet, and individual property owners weather the storm that I think will end up coming during and in the aftermath of COVID. There's a lot of work still left to be done, and my vision that I simply promised my first term was to rethink, reinvent, and reinvigorate the office. It's a catchy phrase, but it literally is what we've done, and we continue that work. I feel as passionate about the vision I have for this office to make it the most customer-friendly and best property appraiser's office in the country, if not in the world. And so that's why I'm running again, because I'm passionate about it and I enjoy what I do.
And what new innovations for your office would you champion as property appraiser?
Well, we're going to continue to find the best practices that we can find out there. We've done a great deal in terms of improving our ability, and it shows really through this pandemic, through COVID, of allowing us to maximize our using our human capital, the talent that we have in this office, but teaching them new ways of doing business by utilizing technology. Without that, and without a plan that we already had in place in view of the fact that Florida is prone to hurricanes and natural disasters, to be able to work virtually in a virtual environment. And as a result of that, utilizing technology, we've been able to have our folks, for the most part, hotel or work at home, and we haven't missed a step in terms of productivity. So we're going to continue to find better ways to utilize technology through enhanced aerial photography and other things, to be able to create a virtual environment in which people can do their appraisal work from home or wherever it may be, or if they're in the car doing it the old-fashioned way, that they have those techniques or that ability at their fingertips. So we're going to continue to do that, and just literally, we are every day trying to find the bleeding edge of appraisal practice to institute here. And we actually have a particular department that they're the innovation team, and they're constantly looking at best practices nationally or inventing their own best practices to allow both our customers to interface with our office, as well as doing a better job of being accurate, fair, and equitable.
And during your time in office, what do you plan to do for the Plant City community?
Well, I mean, Plant City, being part of the larger collective of Hillsborough County, you know, we have a Plant City branch office. In fact, it's probably our largest branch office in the new county center there. We try to be as accessible as possible. I spend a lot of time in that office, and also, you know, interfacing with the folks in Plant City at various different events and community events and things, so that folks have an ability to not only know me, know our office. You know, a lot of what we do out of that office is our greenbelt or agricultural. Certainly the exemptions come out of that office. But there's obviously, we service the city of Plant City as a whole, both the commercially, the businesses, as well as the residents as well. So, you know, it's important, and it's funny because I come out, when I first started going out there as property appraiser, people would always thank me for being out there. And I thought that was kind of funny. You know, thanks for coming all the way out here. And now it's not like that. Now I go out and it's great to see you. And I think that they realize that I've gone out of my way to make an effort. And largely it's my job. And also the fact I love being out there, because it really is God's country, frankly.
And if elected again, what is your priority for your next term of office?
Well, I think immediately our priority needs to be what are the aftermaths of property value and on individual property owners in the aftermath of this pandemic. You know, hopefully come November, we'll be seeing, you know, we'll be on the downside of it, but doesn't appear to be the case right now. Unfortunately, because the date of appraisal is January 1st of a given year, this year's tax roll, based on the value of property as of January 1st, may not reflect the downturn or the difficulties in the economy that we would anticipate in the aftermath, and in the case of hospitality and other industries are feeling right now. So in 2021, you're going to see some of the effects economically. You're going to see small investors, people that have investment properties that maybe haven't been able to collect rents for a period of time as a result of the mandatory, the governor put into place a moratorium on rents and things like that if people couldn't pay it. Some of that kind of stuff is going to start to come to fruition. You're going to see some of the offices that maybe they have their leases are coming back, and people are going to lease less office space or try to find ways to be more, you know, to try to recoup some of the economic losses that they've had. Obviously, our hospitality industry, hotels, and restaurants and what have you are on their knees right now. So the first order of business, and that's why I've called for a task force to be formed, and we're in the process of forming that, to come up with ideas to pass on to the legislature, because largely legislature, we're run, most of what we've done is legislatively mandated either through the Constitution or through state statute. And being a former legislator myself, I understand the process there. I would encourage that the legislature come into special session to deal with these issues before November if possible, but I have a feeling with the election they're not going to want to do that. But I'm understanding that maybe in addition to organizational session in November, that they may actually tackle some of these issues of the effect of COVID. And it really is, a lot of it's still unknown, but certainly, you know, local governments are going to be really affected by this. Sales tax revenues are down. Ultimately, their ad valorem revenues will be down in 2021. So it's a real problem. So it's something I think that we need to be on the forefront of immediately, and again have folks that are experienced and know what they're doing in my position and other positions as we take office again. Well, it'll be actually January of 2021.
Well, that's it for our committee's questions. Is there anything else that you want your viewers to know before we go?
No, I'm just very pleased. I'm not sure that we obviously, maybe we did this last time, it was in person or was in a different format, but I think that it's wonderful that you've gone out of your way to have these interviews. And again, for me, it's a job interview, and you know, my job has a 4-year time frame, and at the end of that, it's important that I re-interview for my job and be rehired. And so I'm glad to have this opportunity. If there's any other information or anything that anyone needs, and in the meantime, know that we're here in the property appraiser's office to help anyone as best we can.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a great day.
Thank you very much.